Hey Cancer, welcome back to the channel. I need to talk to you about something that's been coming through in the cards lately, and honestly, this energy is pretty intense. So I just shuffled the deck with you in mind, and what came out is really telling me a story about someone in your orbit who has been dealing with some serious consequences. The universe has a way of balancing things out, and from what I am seeing, someone who may have wronged you or acted against your best interests is now facing their own reckoning. Let me walk you through what the cards are revealing because this is genuinely fascinating and I think you are going to recognize this situation immediately. Before we dive in, I just want to say that this reading is coming from a place of wanting to give you clarity about the energy shifts happening around you. Sometimes we need confirmation that the universe does see what's happening and that karma really does work in mysterious but effective ways. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, get comfortable, and let's explore what's unfolding for you, Cancer. The first card that came out is the Page of Pentacles, and right away I am getting this energy of someone who thought they had everything figured out. You know how the Page of Pentacles represents that beginning stage of building something, that student energy where you are learning and developing skills? Well, in this context, I am seeing this as someone in your life who was trying to build something or establish themselves, but they were doing it in a way that wasn't entirely honest or ethical. This person may have been taking shortcuts, stepping on toes, or using people as stepping stones for their own advancement. What's interesting about this page energy is that it's so focused on the material world, on tangible results and achievements. This person was probably really concerned with how things looked from the outside, with their reputation or their status. They wanted people to see them as successful or capable, but the foundation they were building on was shaky at best. The Page of Pentacles can sometimes indicate immaturity in handling resources or opportunities, and I am definitely getting that vibe here. This person may have bitten off more than they could chew or made promises they couldn't keep. Now here's where it gets interesting for you specifically, Cancer. Your sign is all about emotional intelligence, about authentic connections and building real trust with people. You can probably sense when someone is being genuine versus when they are just playing a role. This Page of Pentacles person likely underestimated you. They thought they could put on a show and you would not see through it, but that's not how this works with Cancer energy. You may have given them chances, been patient with them, tried to help them even, because that's your nature. But deep down you knew something was off about their approach or their intentions. The Page of Pentacles here is showing me that this person's journey of trying to build their little empire or establish their position is now hitting some major roadblocks. The student is being schooled, if you will. Life has a way of teaching us lessons when we refuse to learn them the gentle way. And this person is getting the full curriculum now. They thought they were being clever or strategic, but really they were just digging themselves into a hole. And you, Cancer, you probably saw this coming from miles away even if you did not say anything at the time. What I find really compelling about this card in this position is that it's showing the beginning of their downfall is directly related to how they tried to build themselves up. Like the very tactics and strategies they used are now the things causing them problems. If they were dishonest about their skills, now they are being exposed as incompetent. If they took credit for other people's work, now they are being asked to perform without support and they cannot deliver. The universe has a poetic way of handling these situations, and this is definitely one of those times. Moving to our second card, we have the Seven of Cups, and wow, this is really painting a picture. The Seven of Cups is all about illusions, fantasies, confusion, and being faced with too many options or possibilities that may not all be real. This person was living in some kind of fantasy land. They had built up this whole narrative in their head about how things were going to go, about who they were, about what they deserved. But here's the thing about the Seven of Cups. All those beautiful cups floating in the clouds, they represent different illusions and false promises. This person may have been juggling multiple deceptions or keeping various lies going at the same time. You know how with the Seven of Cups all those options look tempting, but you cannot actually have them all and some of them are not even real? That was this person's life. They were trying to maintain multiple false fronts, telling different stories to different people, making commitments they had no intention of keeping. It's exhausting just thinking about it. And the thing is, this kind of life is completely unsustainable. What's happening now, and this is where the karma piece really kicks in, is that all these illusions are collapsing. The Seven of Cups reversed, or in a challenging position like this, shows that reality is crashing in hard. All those fantasies they had about getting away with their behavior, about nobody finding out, about being able to maintain their false image forever, Those are all dissolving like mist in sunlight. The confusion they created is now coming back to confuse them. The webs they wove are now tangling them up. For you, Cancer, this Seven of Cups is validating something you probably already sensed. You likely felt that this person was not being straight with you, that something about their story did not add up, that there were inconsistencies in what they said or did. Your intuition as a Cancer is incredibly strong. It's one of your superpowers, really, and this card is confirming that your gut feeling was absolutely correct. You were not being paranoid or overly suspicious. You were picking up on real deception. The fascinating part about the Seven of Cups in this reading is that it shows this person is now facing the consequences of their own illusions. They believed their own lies for so long that they lost track of what was real. They thought they could keep all the balls in the air indefinitely, but gravity always wins eventually. Now they are dealing with the fallout of people discovering the truth, of their various stories contradicting each other, of their carefully constructed image crumbling. And the confusion they are experiencing now is so much worse than any temporary discomfort they might have felt if they had just been honest from the start. I am also getting with this Seven of Cups that this person may be overwhelmed right now, not knowing which way to turn or how to fix the mess they created. They have lost credibility, and once that is gone, it is incredibly hard to rebuild. People are seeing them clearly now without the smoke and mirrors, and what they are seeing is not impressive. This is the universe's way of clearing away illusions so that truth can be visible. And while it's uncomfortable for the person going through it, it's actually a healthy clearing for everyone involved, including you. The third card is the Hanged Man, and this is where things get really profound. The Hanged Man represents suspension, being stuck, a necessary pause, and seeing things from a completely different perspective. This person who has been causing problems or acting unethically is now in a position where they are completely suspended. They cannot move forward the way they planned. They cannot go back to how things were. They are just hanging there, having to face the consequences of their actions. What I love about the Hanged Man in this context is that it's a card of forced reflection. This person has no choice now but to think about what they have done, to see how their actions affected others, to understand the real cost of their behavior. They are in a timeout, basically, imposed by the universe itself. And here's the thing about the Hanged Man. The suspension period can feel like forever when you are the one hanging there. Time moves differently when you are stuck and waiting and unable to progress. This card is telling me that this person's entire world has been turned upside down. Everything they thought they knew, every plan they had, every assumption they made, all of it is being challenged. The Hanged Man forces you to see from a new angle, and often what you see from that angle is pretty uncomfortable. They are probably realizing now just how wrong they were, how badly they miscalculated, how much damage they caused. But the beautiful thing about the Hanged Man is that this realization, while painful, is actually the first step toward real growth if they choose to learn from it. For you, Cancer, the Hanged Man is showing that this person's ability to affect your life or cause you problems has been completely suspended. They are so caught up in their own consequences right now that they do not have the energy or resources to continue whatever they were doing before. You are essentially free of their influence because they are too busy dealing with their own mess. It's like the universe has put them in a holding pattern while you get to move forward unencumbered. What strikes me about this card is the element of surrender it contains. The Hanged Man has to surrender to the position he is in. There is no fighting it or forcing a way out. This person has to surrender to the consequences of their actions, to the judgment of others, to the reality they created for themselves. And that surrender is probably one of the hardest things they have ever had to do, especially if they are someone who likes to be in control or who is used to manipulating situations to their advantage. The Hanged Man also suggests a sacrifice, and in this case, this person is sacrificing their reputation, their relationships, their opportunities, basically everything they were trying so hard to protect or build up. But it's a sacrifice that comes from their own choices, not from noble intentions. They are losing things because they have to, not because they want to. And that kind of involuntary sacrifice is particularly difficult to accept. They may be going through a period of feeling victimized or sorry for themselves, but the Hanged Man is asking them to look deeper and recognize their own role in creating this situation. The fourth card we have is Strength, and this is such a powerful addition to this reading. Strength is about inner power, courage, resilience, and the ability to face challenges with grace and determination. But in this context, I am seeing strength as representing both what you have, Cancer, and what this other person lacks. You have been demonstrating real strength throughout whatever this situation has been. Real strength is not about aggression or force. It's about maintaining your integrity, staying true to your values, being patient when others are losing their cool. Cancer. You have probably shown incredible restraint in this situation. You could have reacted in ways that would have caused more drama or escalated things, but you chose the high road. You chose to protect your peace, to maintain your dignity, to trust that truth would eventually come out. That takes enormous strength, more strength than most people realize. It's so much easier to lash out or seek revenge, but you understood that the best response was to simply step back and let karma do its work. The Strength card is also showing me that you have tamed your own inner beasts throughout this process. Maybe you felt angry or hurt or betrayed. Those are all valid emotions. But you did not let those emotions control you or dictate your actions. You processed them, you acknowledged them, but you did not let them turn you into someone you are not. That is the essence of true strength. Having the courage to feel your feelings without being consumed by them. Now, in terms of this other person, the Strength card is highlighting what they are lacking. They do not have the inner fortitude to face consequences with grace. They are probably falling apart, making excuses, blaming others, doing anything to avoid taking responsibility. Where you have shown quiet strength, they are showing weakness and fragility. Where you have been dignified, they are probably being desperate. The contrast could not be more clear, and I have a feeling that others are noticing this difference too. What's beautiful about strength appearing in this reading is that it's confirming you have already won in the ways that matter most. You have maintained your integrity. You have stayed true to yourself. You have not compromised your values, even when it might have been tempting or easier to do so. The person facing karmic consequences right now does not have that same satisfaction. They may have had temporary gains or victories, but they are hollow because they were achieved through dishonesty or manipulation. Your strength is real and lasting because it comes from authentic self-knowledge and genuine character. The Strength card is also about compassion, and I am wondering if part of you even feels a little sorry for this person now that they are facing such harsh consequences. That would be very Cancer of you, to have empathy even for someone who wronged you. But the card is reminding you that true compassion does not mean protecting people from the natural consequences of their actions. Sometimes the most compassionate thing is to let someone face their karma so they have the opportunity to learn and grow. You are not being cruel by stepping back. You are actually giving them the space they need to hopefully become better. Our fifth card is the Queen of Cups, and this is you, Cancer. This is absolutely you. The Queen of Cups is emotionally intelligent, intuitive, compassionate, and deeply connected to her feelings and the feelings of others. She is nurturing, but she is not a doormat. She is kind, but she has boundaries. She is empathetic, but she is not naive. This card is showing me that you have navigated this entire situation with emotional maturity and wisdom. Throughout whatever has been happening with this person who is now facing karma, you have stayed in touch with your emotional truth. You have not pretended to feel things you do not feel. You have not suppressed your intuition to make others comfortable. You have not betrayed yourself to keep the peace. The Queen of Cups knows her own heart and trusts it completely, and that is exactly what you have been doing. Your emotional intelligence has been your guide through this whole mess. What I am really picking up with the Queen of Cups is that you have been able to maintain your emotional equilibrium even while chaos was swirling around you. This person may have tried to manipulate your emotions, to make you feel guilty or responsible for their problems, to draw you into their drama, but you have kept your boundaries intact. You have observed without getting entangled. You have cared without becoming enmeshed. You have understood without taking on burdens that were not yours to carry. The Queen of Cups is also telling me that your intuition has been spot on throughout this entire situation. Every weird feeling you had, every moment of doubt or suspicion, every time you felt like something was not quite right, you were picking up on real information. Your psychic antennae were working perfectly, giving you accurate data even when the logical facts did not fully support your feelings yet. And now that everything is coming to light, you are probably having a lot of moments where you are thinking, I knew it. I felt that something was off. This card is also about emotional healing, and I am sensing that you are in or entering a phase of healing from whatever impact this situation had on you. Maybe you felt hurt or disappointed or disillusioned. Those feelings are valid and they deserve to be acknowledged and processed. The Queen of Cups does not bypass her emotions. She sits with them. She honors them. She allows them to move through her in a healthy way. You are doing that work now, or you are about to, and it's going to leave you even stronger and more centered than you were before. What's lovely about the Queen of Cups appearing here is that it's showing you are not becoming hardened or cynical because of this experience. You are not closing your heart or deciding that everyone is untrustworthy. You are integrating the lessons without losing your essential nature, which is compassionate and open and emotionally available. That is a huge accomplishment because it would be so easy to build walls or shut down after being hurt or deceived. But you are choosing to remain emotionally intelligent and connected, just with better boundaries and clearer discernment. The sixth and final card is the Queen of Swords, and this is such a perfect closing card for this reading. The Queen of Swords represents clarity, truth, direct communication, intellectual strength, and the ability to cut through illusions and see reality clearly. After everything we have talked about with the other cards, the Queen of Swords is showing me that you are emerging from this situation with crystal clear understanding and rock-solid boundaries. The Queen of Swords does not mince words, and she does not tolerate nonsense. She values honesty and authenticity above almost everything else. She can spot a lie from a mile away, and she has zero patience for manipulation or mind games. This is the energy you are embodying now or moving into. Cancer. You have gone through the emotional processing with the Queen of Cups, and now you are stepping into the mental clarity and decisive action of the Queen of Swords. What this card is telling me is that you now see this entire situation with complete clarity. All the confusion that may have existed before, all the questions about whether you were judging too harshly or misunderstanding intentions, all of that is gone. You see the truth plainly, and you are not second-guessing yourself anymore. The Queen of Swords has removed all the fog, and what remains is simple, factual reality. This person acted badly. They are now facing consequences, and you have no obligation to rescue them or make their situation easier. The Queen of Swords is also about boundaries and Cancer. I am seeing that you have established or are establishing some very firm boundaries moving forward. Maybe you are cutting this person off completely, or maybe you are maintaining very limited contact with extremely clear parameters. Either way, you are done being flexible or accommodating when it comes to people who have shown you they cannot be trusted. The Queen of Swords wields her sword not to attack but to protect and define what is acceptable and what is not. What I really appreciate about this card in this position is that it shows you are combining your emotional intelligence from the Queen of Cups with the mental clarity of the Queen of Swords. You are not making decisions purely from hurt feelings, but you are also not ignoring your feelings in favor of cold logic. You are integrating both, using your heart and your head together to navigate forward in a way that honors your whole self. That integration is incredibly powerful, and it's going to serve you so well going forward. The Queen of Swords can also indicate speaking your truth, and I am wondering if you are in a position now or will be soon where you need to communicate clearly about what happened, about your boundaries, about your expectations. If that situation arises, this card is telling you that you have the clarity and communication skills to do that effectively. You can be direct without being cruel, honest without being harsh, clear without being cold. Your words will land because they will come from a place of integrated truth rather than reactive emotion. This final card is also showing me that you are ready to move forward. The Queen of Swords looks ahead, not behind. She has processed what happened, she has learned what she needed to learn, she has established her boundaries, and now she is ready to apply her wisdom to the future. You are not going to be stuck dwelling on this situation or this person. You are taking the lessons, leaving the rest, and moving into your next chapter with confidence and clarity. So Cancer, let me bring this all together for you. What I am seeing in these cards is a complete story of karmic justice and personal empowerment. Someone in your life who is operating from a place of dishonesty and manipulation, shown by the Page of Pentacles and Seven of Cups, is now completely suspended and facing serious consequences, shown by the Hanged Man. They cannot move forward, they cannot escape what they have created, and they are being forced to confront the reality of their actions. Meanwhile, you have demonstrated incredible strength throughout this situation. You have maintained your integrity, kept your boundaries, trusted your intuition, and refused to lower yourself to their level. You have embodied both the Queen of Cups, staying emotionally connected and compassionate, and the Queen of Swords, maintaining clarity and firm boundaries. You are coming out of this situation not as a victim, but as someone who has been refined and strengthened by the challenge. The karma that is hitting this person is not random or cruel, it's the natural consequence of their own choices. They created this situation through their actions, and now they are experiencing the results. And here's the thing. This is actually the universe being fair and just, even though it might look harsh. Everyone deserves the opportunity to learn from their mistakes, and sometimes the only way learning happens is through facing consequences. For you, this reading is confirmation that you do not need to do anything more. You do not need to seek revenge. You do not need to expose them further. You do not need to make sure they suffer enough. The universe has this handled, and your job now is simply to continue being your authentic self, honoring your boundaries, and moving forward with your life. The best response to someone else's karma is to focus on your own growth and your own path. I am also getting that this situation, while difficult, has actually been a gift in disguise for you. It has helped you develop stronger boundaries, trust your intuition more deeply, and recognize red flags earlier. You are not the same person you were before this happened. You are wiser, stronger, and more discerning. That growth is invaluable, and it's going to benefit you in all your future relationships and situations. One thing I want to emphasize is that this reading is not about celebrating someone else's pain. It's about recognizing that justice exists and that truth eventually comes out. It's about validating your experience and confirming that you were not wrong to trust your instincts. It's about giving you permission to move forward without guilt or obligation towards someone who did not treat you with the respect and honesty you deserved. As you move forward, Cancer, remember that you have both the emotional wisdom of the Queen of Cups and the mental clarity of the Queen of Swords available to you. Use both. Let your heart inform your decisions, but let your mind protect your boundaries. Be compassionate but not foolish, kind but not naive, open but not vulnerable to manipulation. You have earned this wisdom through experience, and now you get to apply it moving forward. I hope this reading has brought you some clarity and validation. Sometimes we need to hear that we were not crazy for feeling what we felt, that our intuition was right, that the truth we sensed is actually real. These cards are giving you that confirmation in the strongest possible terms. Trust yourself, Cancer. You have been right about this situation all along. Thanks so much for being here and letting me share these insights with you. I would love to know if this resonated with your situation. Does this match up with something you are experiencing or someone you know? Drop a comment and let me know, because I find these connections so fascinating. And if you found value in this reading, I would really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people who might need to hear these messages. Until next time, take care of yourself and remember that the truth always finds a way to surface.